Welcome back everyone, this is GTA Failure with another odds and ends video. The first thing I'm going to show you is yet another alternative to getting over to the Western Island early. So you can see here I'm in a PCJ. In fact, PCJ Playground is active. You can see all these purple dots over on the left-hand side. It's one of the off-road missions in the game. And this method is one that I saw from a YouTuber, streamer, speedrunner named Badinfos, Badinfos, Badinfos. And I've included a link to their channel below. They've got lots of great GTA content, and in particular, they have a series where they dissect the differences between the original and the definitive edition, mission by mission for the trilogy. It's awesome. So check out their channel, linked below. Okay, so here is a very annoying way to get over to the Western Island. This one success took me 30 minutes to do this thing. It's just really tough to get this, to get a motorcycle up here off of the collection of stairs there, and then to get it to land on this narrow ledge. But once you're up here, pretty straightforward, is just gun it until you get near the bridge here and then off to the left. And just like that, you're over on the Western Island. For the other methods I've shown you of getting here early, I showed each of them twice. I ain't doing that for this technique. I'm not doing that anymore. Anyway, thank you to Badinfos for the idea. Okay, so before I get into the heart of what this odds and ends video is about, there's some setup work here. I am going to collect a number of vehicles, 3 vehicles actually, and here's the first one. This vehicle is called the Barracks OL. There are 2 fixed spawns around the, like in the Vice City map, both of them right here on the military base. So I'm going to skip ahead to me bringing this Barracks OL over to the southernmost bridge, and I've put on the flying cars cheat code, which is come fly with me, and we're just going to fly this over the barrier. And I know I said I wasn't really going to be using cheats that much. There's going to be a lot of cheats in this particular video, but I'm not going to save this file at any point, so I won't take advantage of using these cheat codes. And then once I was here on the Eastern Island, I drove this thing over to my garage at the southernmost safe house, and I'm trying to jam this in here. This is the longest garage over on this island, and this thing just barely fits, but it fits, so we're counting it. Okay, then I headed back over to the Western Island, grabbed the news helicopter, and now we're going to head over this way to another fixed spawn vehicle that I'm collecting. There's a vehicle in this game called the Washington, and this one right here is the FBI Washington, the variant of the Washington. And this time we flew over the barrier by the golf course using, again, the flying cars cheat code, come fly with me. And here we jammed this car into the safe house just south of the hospital, the northern hospital. Okay, now I've got a 4-star wanted level, and one of the police vehicles that comes out when you have a 4-star wanted level is the VCPD Cheetah, this yellow vehicle right here, which had the nerve to drive away from me when I so desperately wanted to steal it. So quadruple speed here, me running after the VCPD Cheetah. I used cheat codes to note that it's just called the Cheetah in the game there on the bottom right hand side, but it's not just a Cheetah, it's a VCPD Cheetah with one very important difference. And I saved this thing in the garage over by the Lakesview apartment. Note that I used cheat codes to get 4 stars. It's you won't take me alive. I used that twice to get 4 stars. And then once that VCPD Cheetah spawned, I got rid of my wanted level again by using a cheat code. That was leave me alone. Leave me alone. All right, so I think that is the last cheat code we're going to use here. Maybe, actually, I might use one more. We'll see. All right, so what are we doing in this episode? Well, we're doing Vigilante, but we're doing it a little bit out of order because technically where I'm putting this episode in the playlist, we haven't done Vigilante like vanilla yet, and I always like to do the vanilla things before I explore them further with the odds and ends video. But just for scheduling purposes of my video series, I kind of had to put this thing here. So anyway, the idea behind Vigilante is you got to kill a bunch of criminals, 1 on the first level, 2 on the second level, 3 on the third level, etc., up to 12 criminals on the 12th level. Is that right? I think that's right. And so in a couple of videos from now, you'll see me explain Vigilante in a little bit more detail. But anyway, it's pretty straightforward. All right, so what is my challenge here? Well, turns out that the police car, while it's probably the typical vehicle that folks use when they do Vigilante in this game, it's not the only vehicle that you can use for Vigilante. And when I got out of the police car, the game said you have 60 seconds to get back into a police vehicle. So here is a different police vehicle, the Enforcer. And the Enforcer is another one which allows you to do Vigilante while you're inside of it. Officers, I'm doing science here. Okay, so we are just shredding the cars with the criminals in them. Here I just kind of ran away a little bit so that I wouldn't get busted and pulled out because the enforcer's acceleration is pretty slow. All right, so to my knowledge, hello, there are 6 vehicles that you can do vigilante in, and I'm not counting Brown Thunder, which is another vigilante type mission, but it's technically not vigilante. It's called Brown Thunder. We'll do that one in another video. But again, to my knowledge, 4 vehicles. Here, I think I just got out to like switch weapons or something. Yeah, I like using the minigun for this. All right, so 6 vehicles that I can use to do vigilante, and my challenge for this video is to do 2 levels of vigilante in each of the 6 vehicles, and so that's why I gathered that particular trio of vehicles. Each of them is eligible for doing vigilante. So what we're going to do, we already did levels 1 and 2 in the regular police car, and now we've completed level 3, and we're currently on level 4 here in the Enforcer. And once I complete level 4 in the Enforcer, we're going to switch to one of those other 3 vehicles that I just put into a garage. And so we're just going to go 2 levels at a time, changing vehicles at the end of every other level. All right, so we've got the police car and the Enforcer are 2 of the 6, and then the 3 vehicles that I put in garages are 3 of the 6, but that's only 5. So what's the 6th one? Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. While we watch my attempt at this vigilante challenge, I thought it would be a good time to talk about money and what kinds of activities might be best for an early cash grind early in the game. And so this is our 5th and final vehicle side mission. We've already tackled firefighter and paramedic and taxi and pizza boy, and now we're doing vigilante. And I'm just going to compare. I'm going to give you a bunch of statistics here about the money you can make by doing each of these activities. So we'll start with Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy, you pass 10 levels and then Pizza Boy ends. You can't do Pizza Boy again after 10 levels. You can't go on to level 11 for Pizza Boy. And you get 5,000 bucks for completing the 10th level, and you get $10 per pizza. So anyway, about $5,500 is what you earn in, say, 20 minutes to complete the entire 10 levels of Pizza Boy. So if you do that, then you earn $278 per minute. $278 per minute. So I'm going to give you the dollars per minute for each of these 5 vehicle side missions, just so we can compare. There, I just demonstrated that the pay and spray will not accept the Enforcer. Okay, so a little less than 300 bucks per minute. That is the slowest way to earn cash from the 5 different vehicle side missions. A little bit better, well, maybe quite a bit better, is doing taxi. Now, you don't want to just like do a little bit of taxi here and a little bit of taxi there. You want to do a lot of taxi consecutively, because every 5th level that you complete consecutively, you get a cash bonus. And that's really where the money is. The fares are not that much, like $100 per fare. But if you can do 100 in a row, I estimate it will take just a little over an hour and a half to do 100 taxi drop-offs in a row. And if you do that, then the cash that you get for that entire 100 drop-offs in a row is about $115,000. So most of that is from the, the every 5th consecutive cash bonus. Some of it is from the actual fares themselves, the 100 fares that you would get. So if you do 100 fares in a row and it takes you a little over an hour and a half, then you will be earning about $1,200 per minute. $1,200 per minute doing taxi. Again, compared to a little less than $300 per minute for Pizza Boy. Okay, moving on. Better than taxi would be paramedic. There, you complete 12 levels of paramedic, and then paramedic ends. You can't move on to level 13. At the end of each level, you get some cash, and then at the end of completing 12 levels, you get something like 25 grand. And so anyway, when all is said and done, the cash that you get for 12 levels of paramedic is a little bit under $60,000, just under $60,000. I estimate it takes me like 36, 37 minutes to do 12 levels of paramedic. And so at that speed, the cash earned per minute is about $1,600. $1,600 compared to taxi, which was about $1,200 per minute. So paramedic, $1,600 per minute. And now we're about to see that the barracks OL is not pay and sprayable. Okay, next up is Vigilante, what we're watching here, although don't do it with this silly challenge thing, because I spent a lot of time driving around picking up different police vehicles to use for Vigilante. But for Vigilante, if you complete 12 levels of Vigilante, you get you get exactly $32,500. These 2 police cars crashing into each other on this particular road reminds me of the programmed-in police cars that do exactly this on this road in the mission The Driver. And now back to our discussion of doing Vigilante for a cash grind. I estimate it would take about 15 minutes. It takes me less when I use the minigun, but you're not supposed to have the minigun, and this is like an early cash grind, early game cash grind discussion. So I assume that you're doing like a lot of drive-bys, which is obviously slower than my minigun strategy. So $32,500 in about 15 minutes works out to like $2,100 per minute, $2,200 per minute, something like that. And you can continue in Vigilante. You can go on to level 13 and beyond. Firefighter, the cash is exactly the same. It's $32,500 for completing 12 levels of Firefighter. And just like Vigilante, with Firefighter, you can continue to level 13 and beyond. Firefighter takes a little bit less time for me than Vigilante does. Like completing 12 levels of Firefighter is maybe only about 12, 13 minutes. So cash earned per minute there is slightly more than cash earned per minute for Vigilante. Vigilante was like $2,100, $2,200 per minute, and Firefighter is about $2,500 per minute. And now I'm doing Vigilante in the VCPD Cheetah for the first time in my life, and this vehicle is awesome. It's pay and sprayable, so I can get rid of my wanted level just like that. And it is also super, super fast. Love it, love it, love it. There is a fixed spawn VCPD cheetah on the western island. It's in the parking lot of the southern police station. So if you're just doing like one round of the side mission, like stop at level 12, even if you can continue beyond level 12, then the range here is Pizza Boy, about $300 per minute, up to the best is Firefighter, $2,500 per minute. All right. What if you were a real glutton for punishment, or you just really like money, and you want to get up to the maximum money, like really early in the game, using one of these 5 vehicle side missions? So, as we've discovered, the maximum money is $1 less than a billion. That's billion with a B. So $999,999,999 is the mix. So technically, you can't actually repeatedly do Pizza Boy to get up to that cash amount, because as soon as you complete Pizza Boy once, the game doesn't let you do Pizza Boy anymore, which still strikes me as very strange. I don't understand why that decision was made. Maybe it was a glitch, I don't know. But if you were allowed to repeat Pizza Boy every time, you complete 10 levels, you make your $5,500, and then you just start right over again at level 1 and make another $5,500, then it would take you to get up to the maximum money. I'll just call it $1 billion, even though it's $1 less. So to get up to $1 billion would take you about 2,500 days of Pizza Boy. That's 24 hours a day of doing Pizza Boy for 2,500 straight days, which is about 7 years. Now, I didn't account for leap years, so I guess there'd be like 1 or 2 leap years in there. So feel free to like take that one day off, like February 29th when it happens, and then get back to the 24-hour Pizza Boy grind. So 7 years of Pizza Boy. Better than that, much better than that, is Paramedic. So as soon as you complete 12 levels of Paramedic, you get out and you get back in, or hit an unlock and then just start Paramedic again. And to get to the $1 billion with repeated Paramedic attempts would take about 430 days. 430 days, which is only like a year and, I don't know, 3 months or something like that. Again, 24 hours a day. So you really got to be committed. You probably will be committed at the end of that. So now we're about to do our 2 levels of Vigilante in the FBI Washington. It's not as fast as the Cheetah, but it is pay and sprayable. But now we get to things that are way better. So again, like 7 years for Pizza Boy, a year and a quarter for Paramedic. But now we're going to move on to Taxi. And the reason that Taxi and Firefighter and Vigilante are way better is because they don't end at level 10, or they don't end at level 12. You can keep going. And the cash bonuses for doing like more and more levels, or more and more consecutive taxi drop-offs, they increase every time. And so if you're a math person, then that means that the cash goes up like according to a quadratic formula and not a linear formula. So if you do taxi 24 hours a day, just nonstop, got to be consecutive, don't get out at any point, then to get to the maximum money, I assumed it would take about a minute per taxi drop-off when I did my calculation. To get to the maximum money would take you about, what do we have here, 33 hours? So, like a day and then like another, 9 hours or so. Less than a day and a half, easy. So you could make that happen, right? So just keep doing taxi. for a day and a half, and you'll get up to the $1 billion mark. Make sure you don't flip your taxi, because if you get out, as soon as you get out to like switch to a different taxi, then taxi ends, and that's no good. So much better than spending 7 years on Pizza Boy or a year and a quarter on paramedic. So just a day and a half of taxi. And then tied for first place here is firefighter and paramedic. They earn cash at exactly the same like level, the same rate. It's what is it? It's like $50 times the square of the level that you just completed for both firefighter and vigilante. And I'm gonna call it like 2 minutes per level, like 2 minutes to put out all the fires on a given level, 2 minutes to take out all the criminals on a given level of vigilante. So if it takes about 2 minutes per, then to get to the maximum money, the $1 billion mark for firefighter and vigilante would only take 13 straight hours. So that's it, 13 hours, and you get to the maximum money of $1 billion. Easy. That said, I'm making it sound like like it's trivial to do firefighter and continue to pass firefighter for 13 hours straight, or vigilante for 13 hours straight. I don't think it is. I did try maximum firefighter level. I think I made a video on it earlier in the series, and the highest level I got to was something like 56, 57, and I just ran out of time. Like the time bonuses they were giving me were not enough to put out all the fires. And so I had like I don't know, I had like 7 minutes on my clock built up, and then gradually it just bled away as I continued to do levels in slightly more time than they were giving me when I completed the previous level. So I couldn't do 13 hours of firefighter. I couldn't get close to it. I would run out of time well before that. So you can see our sixth and final vigilante vehicle is the Rhino tank. I got it by using the cheat code Panzer. So what about vigilante? Well, in theory, you can keep doing vigilante, but the complication with doing a ton, like 13 straight hours of vigilante in the early game, is that you need ammo. And ammo is sort of hard to come by in the early game. Like I'm showing you my minigun strap, but you shouldn't have minigun ammo at this point in the game. Certainly not like thousands of rounds of it. And so, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how much money like you would need. Like, yeah, like the drive-by ammo isn't even available for purchase until you've done a few missions in the game, so I'm not sure. But if you have enough ammo, then maybe vigilante is the way to go, because it seems like the time bonuses you're given are quite sufficient, quite ample in order to complete the task. It's just a question of like having enough ammo to take out all the criminals for 13 straight hours, and also avoiding getting busted. As you saw, I had to use the health cheat code, otherwise I was going to die, but whatever, I'm not coming back to the save file anyway. What's another cheat code? So if you have other challenges for me to consider doing, throw them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.